And so in doing so, we realized, again, kind of intuitively, that there were certain qualities that were going to be necessary. One of those qualities was vision, and I talked a little bit about that, and that really undergirded everything we did, that very detailed vision, which also translated into mission and goals. And by the way, we had mission statements printed large at the entrance of every building and at the beginning of each school year, or if a new staff member came on board, everyone signed that mission statement. And the same was true in the boardroom, so that it truly was a visual of our commitment to all students, because the strategic plan was a commitment to the success of every single student. We also realized that we had to be ourselves authentic in the implementation of this, the good, the bad, and the ugly parts of it. So, for example, since we moved to site-based management, and all of this was with a lot of professional development leading up to the adoption of these things, principals, you can imagine, were extra nervous about the responsibility this might mean, and would it mean if they had a misstep that they would be gone out the door? And so we sat in a circle. We had several ongoing meetings with the administrators as a group, principals especially, where they could voice freely any concern, worry, idea, whatever that they had, so that we could work our way through this. Similarly with the teachers, an example is that because our teams that we developed at all levels included what were called special education teachers, we called them educational support, and they were members of the team. And the instructional team could decide for a given week or month how they were going to best use their time to serve all of the students. In fact, the teachers coined the phrase, all kids belong to all students, all kids belong to all teachers. And so they could decide who might do the one-on-one instruction with a given student. So there were all those opportunities for instruction that ranged from one-on-one through smaller group to larger group, and it was very flexible. We also realized that we needed to be relational. So that, for example, two things. One, special ed teachers were nervous about what I just described, and I met with them because they were concerned that the expertise they had and spent so many times gaining was not going to be appreciated any longer. Well, as a matter of fact, it was needed more than ever, because what they brought to the team in terms of that expertise was incredibly important, so that those team members, the other teachers, better understood how to work with children who had special needs when they were with them in larger groups or smaller groups, or even individually. Because sometimes it was better for a particular student to get an extra math discussion from the math teacher as opposed to the special ed teacher. The special ed teachers also found out that they had missed out on a lot of content knowledge, and that built up their capacity when they needed to work with children in small or larger groups or individually.